Brooks, inside two, Kadeem Willis with the two-handed slam, and tell me Jasper Moots not lagging behind these guys right now in the slam dunk competition. Oh, Jess Zawada gets the ball under some good pressure from Logan Bickham. Off glass, Amanda Thompson calls the bank, and envisions next week. Darren Deneran, one hand. Was that over Brett Layton or Mommy Diawara? I think it was one. Oh my Lord, that is a statement.
My first memory is probably Joe Carter's home run in 1993. The first photos of me have a Blue Jays hat. But so it was a big part of my family, sports, in that sense. And to me, you know, I went to sports camps in the summer. I listened to sports radio all day long, all night long in my room, playing with the Cushionet, listening to Damon Stoudemire. Those were that's how my life that's what everything revolved around when I was young. I used to call into the radio shows. Sometimes I was too young for them to let me on. Sometimes I was, you know, I would win some prizes or here and there, or get a couple comments in. When I was, you know, 13, 14, it was exciting for me and I liked it. But when I got to Guelph for university later, I decided before I moved to campus, I'm going to email the radio station. So volunteer coordinator Valentina Naranjo, she trained me my first weekend in Guelph. And we were trying to find ways to ingrain ourselves in the campus community culture. And so our administrative coordinator at the time, he connected with the Griffins athletics department. They wanted to broadcast sports. And he knew I talked a lot and had a little bit of a sports history. So he said, do you want to do play-by-play for the basketball team? And we did. And I ended up doing some football, some hockey. I ended up applying for another job at CIVL. They were hiring for a station manager. And I had my first interview. I knew I was going to get the job. It wasn't paying much. It was $17 an hour for me to hightail it out to BC from Ontario. And but it was what I wanted to do. My teachers told me it was probably a bad idea. And UFV had only just that summer become a university. So everything was new. I tried to institute a lot of things that I knew from home, and one of them was the relationship with athletics. And so we were able to very quickly make sure that we broadcast basketball on FM, men and women's basketball, every game. And I was there doing play-by-play, and I was pleased as punch to do my 4th year in a row at that point. And we haven't stopped since. And I've done every single game for the last 14 seasons. From Ontario to BC. It's been great. Best decisions of my life.
It has been so entertaining. 6 seconds left. Joel Friesen in the paint. Out to Sam Freeman with 3 seconds left. To Friesen. He steps away. Takes the shot for 3. It's good. The Cascades win. The Cascades win. And a buzzer beater to Joel Friesen.
I've gotten to call some iconic moments for Cascades men's basketball, but I think they're keystone moments for Canada West basketball as a whole.
Knocked down, Jazz Bajwa in the corner for 3. No good, Hadzovic misses. Seacon with 5 seconds left for 3. Jordan Seacon ties the game with his start of the night. It's 3.9 seconds left, and Jordan Seacon absolutely.
That moment itself, it was just like, that's just a moment you'll never forget, right? And then as it got posted online, people were like, wow, the commentator's awesome, makes it that much better. So like, I feel like he put like that extra stamp on it to make it even that much better, because like, I can still hear Seacon with 5 seconds left for 3 in my head, and you can hear it in your head, and like that's something I'll stick with you forever instead of just, you know, a little bit of excitement. That was just like an extra amount from him for sure.
So when Aaron is commentating a game, it's real feelings, it's real emotions, it's not very filtered.
Under 40 to play now. Williams for 3. It's good, and the Cascades have tied it up with under 35 seconds to play.
Aaron's very high energy, enthusiastic, lots of yelling. He almost calls the game like as if he's on the bench, like as a coach sometimes.
I'm a different guy, okay? So I'm not like every other human being, as most people who've spent any time with me will know. I get told a lot, you don't care what people think. I get told that all the time. I also get told, of course, you don't have any filter. I also get told you're very condescending sometimes. So there's all sorts of things that go into why I'm different on the microphone, right?
Well, you know what, it seems like Coach Al I did not realize the House of Mutombo had been christened.
So I don't want to miss anything. I have stories to tell. that have to do with what we're seeing. Sometimes it doesn't, maybe it's not clear what it has to do with what we're seeing, but have you heard Bill Walton do play-by-play? Because
I don't know, you may think that it goes like this.
This is a piggy bank, by the way.
No, it goes like this, okay? And it's not an oval, it's an elliptical orbit here, right? And the reason that the Earth has seasons.
It's a 10-point game, right?
and I'm not trying to be Bill Walton at all, but you know, when Stephon Lamar is the point guard for the Saskatchewan Huskies in 2013, the year Good Kid, Mad City comes out, you're damn right I'm gonna call him Stephon Kendrick Lamar all night.
Somehow he would just know things about people's lives and stuff, and he would tell a story throughout the game. My dad would always say that he reminded him of Vin Scully, the commentator there, so that was a pretty high praise, but that just shows how good Aaron was at what he does.
You know, he'd make those noises, those sounds or whatever when I hit a big shot, and just try to get whoever's watching at home a little more intense into the game.
Dule for three. It's gonna give him an and one. Manny Dule.
Well, yeah, when you have to watch film or whatever, you have the volume on and you can hear Aaron's enthusiasm and, you know, comments about the players, and it's just his connection to us as players, and he just has nicknames and whatnot, so it's just it's cool to go back and listen to it.
Oh, and Matty Cooley, 2 hands over Chad Oviatt. Keep it Cooley.
After a big weekend of games, if we saw him on campus, he'd like scream at you from across campus saying like, "Oh, there's Taylor Claggett, she got a double-double this weekend," and I just like put my head down and walk to class. But yeah, always good energy.
I think I have a lot to say. I pick up on a lot, and I want to communicate all of it. And I really care about what's going on the court, and I get really excited, actually.
Kabuko for 3. Hits it! Nicky Kabuko from the senior move to the rookie flourish.
Basketball and tattoos, it's a cultural thing. You know, we're born who we are, but then we get to build onto who we are. And this is part of me building onto who I am through the experiences with the program, I guess. So this is a box score from game 1 of 3, ended up being game 1 of 3, best of 3 series against the UBC Thunderbirds at UBC, February 14th, 15th, and 16th of 2019. Deanna Tuchscherer, daughter of Coach Al Tuchscherer, who was Rookie of the Year in Canada West this past year. Taylor Claggett, who is the all-time free throw leader at Canada West and one of the most impressive UFV Cascades ever. And Parm Baines, the all-time 3-point per game leader in Canada West history.
I mean, only person in the world that has my jersey tattooed on him, only person that ever will, so I guess that just shows how big of a fan he was of UFV athletics, and one person that will never forget about me, I guess. He has to look at my jersey every day, so it's cool.
When I saw him do that, I think to me it really showed his dedication to the Cascades and like how passionate he was to see these guys, to see the team succeed, but also his relationship with each individual. And when these individuals did some cool things, he gave himself some permanent ink, which obviously is very dedicated to the cause, and so I think it was pretty cool. Yeah.
I didn't even know he had tattoos. I was a little hurt that I didn't make the wrist or the sleeve, but I'm expecting him to maybe, you know, do one in the later years, 10-year reunion type thing. He is through and through the most craziest dude I've ever met. You know, who does that? I think that's Aaron Levy for you. He doesn't care what people think, and he'll go above and beyond for what he's passionate about.
I mean, I've spent 10 years here. This is 10 years of my life, 4 provinces away from my family, never expected I'd be here. I don't know a soul in town. Don't really fit in here. But it's my life. This is a huge part of my life, is Cascades basketball. I've said for years, this is the most important thing that I've been doing at UFV, or at CIVL, I'd say. CIVL's grown a lot over the last 10 years, and we've done a lot of exciting things. But for the first couple of years, it was just a grind. And the thing that brought me joy out of that grind was being here. I want to remember the things in my life that are important to me. And so I have chronicled them. And these are part of them.
Dule Gilchrist open for three, puts it on the floor, the left hand. The slam.
Yeah, the fact that we're just a U Sports school and he's tattooing our box scores and people's jerseys on his arm just shows that he has a different kind of passion that we do, and he represents our school in a certain way.
When I think of commentary, Aaron Levy's my favorite one. He is my hype man.
She's in there with Fagan and Ivanchuk off the glass, and good. Kaylee Sartori, what does she do? Put the team on her back and score points. Peterson ripped away, intended for Roadhuskers, and Maddie Cooley's got to feel like $1 million, bare naked lady style. Sukjo for three, he had a lot of time, sinks it.